Let us begin by finding a quiet space. Allow your body to grow heavy, to sink deeply into the soft surface beneath you. Let each breath you take become slower, gentler, and deeper. Breathe in the stillness of the night, and breathe out the weight of the long day that has passed. Outside, the night has settled in, and perhaps a gentle rain has begun to fall. Rain. It is nature's own soft music, a timeless lullaby. It taps gently on the roof, whispers at the window pane, and seems to hold the power to wash away our worries, to cleanse the dust from our spirit. In this peaceful space, allow your mind to drift. Let tonight's story guide you on a gentle journey to a station where it always rains, a place meant for hearts that need soothing. You don't need to listen too closely. Just let the words wash over you like a gentle stream, and allow yourself to drift slowly, softly, into a peaceful sleep. And now, our story begins. The rain is falling tonight, a soft, steady rhythm against the world. It's the kind of rain that doesn't demand attention, but rather invites stillness. It drums a gentle, timeless beat on the rooftop, a quiet pitter-patter on the window pane, a soft shh as it slicks the empty streets below. In a city that never seems to rest, the rain offers a moment of pause. It blurs the sharp edges of the buildings, turns the glow of the streetlights into soft, hazy watercolors, and washes the day away. In a small apartment, high above these sleepy streets, a man named Leo is listening. The rain is his only companion tonight, as it is most nights. His home is a quiet place, filled with the gentle hum of the refrigerator and the ticking of a clock he rarely notices. Leo lives a life of soft routines, but underneath them lies a quiet emptiness, a feeling he can't quite name. It's not sadness, not exactly. It's more like a weight, a gentle, persistent heaviness in his heart. Tonight, that weight feels a little heavier. He lies in bed, not quite asleep, not quite awake, floating in that space in between. The rain whispers to him, a lullaby of a million tiny drops, and in that hazy state, a strange dream begins to form, a melody he almost recognizes, the feeling of movement, the low rumble of something large and powerful passing by. He opens his eyes. The dream fades, but one sound remains, a low, rhythmic rumble, the distant, unmistakable sound of a train. Clack, 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 clack. But that's impossible. This city dismantled its old tram lines years ago. There are no tracks, No trains, no stations. The sound should not exist. Yet, it's there. Not loud or jarring, but soft, almost like a memory carried on the rain-soaked air. It seems to be calling to him. Slowly, as if still in a dream, Leo rises from his bed. He doesn't turn on the lights. He is guided only by the silvery glow of the moon filtering through the rain-streaked window. He pulls on a coat over his pajamas, slips his feet into his worn-out shoes, and feels an unexplainable pull toward the door. The alley is transformed. Where dumpsters and shadows once lived, there is now a soft, golden light. It spills out onto the glistening cobblestones, a warm and welcoming glow in the cool, blue-tinted night. The light is coming from a small, old-fashioned train station that seems to have bloomed from the mist itself. It looks like something from a forgotten storybook. It's made of dark, weathered wood and ornate ironwork, with a sloping roof where the rain drums a gentle hollow rhythm. The windows are made of frosted glass, lit from within by gas lamps that flicker with a soft, warm breath. The air here smells of rain, old wood, and something else. Something like distant memories. Leo walks closer, his shoes making no sound on the wet ground. A small, hand-painted sign hangs from a wrought iron post. The letters are elegant, written in a soft, flowing script. It reads, "The station where it always rains," and below it, in smaller, fainter letters, "Only appears when the heart is heavy." Leo reads the words, and they don't surprise him. They feel true. He feels the weight in his own chest, the quiet ache he could never name, and he understands. This place is for him. This place is for hearts like his. The doors to the station are open. No one is there to greet him, but he feels an unspoken invitation. He steps across the threshold and the world outside softens. The sound of the rain is different in here. It's a muffled, comforting murmur on the roof above. A gentle, protective sound. The air is warm and still. A long, polished wooden bench sits against one wall. A single grand clock hangs above it, but its hands are perfectly still, frozen at a time that doesn't matter. There is no ticket counter, no schedule board. There is only the quiet, the warmth, and the feeling of waiting. Then he hears it again, the sound that drew him here. A gentle sigh of steam, the soft squeal of brakes, and the rhythmic clack-clack of the train, slowing as it glides into the station. It pulls up to the platform with a whisper, its windows glowing with the same soft golden light. It is an old train. elegant and timeless. Its doors slide open with a soft hush waiting for him. Leo steps onto the train. There is no conductor to check a ticket, no announcement of a destination. The carriage is warm and dimly lit by small shaded lamps that cast a gentle glow on the passengers within. They sit alone, scattered throughout the carriage. They do not speak. They do not look at one another. They simply sit, their gazes soft, directed towards the rain-streaked windows. Each person seems to be in their own world, held by the gentle rocking of the train and the steady rhythm of the rain outside. The train begins to move, pulling away from the phantom station with a smooth, silent glide. The city lights become soft blurs of color, dissolving into the rainy darkness. The only sounds are the gentle drumming of the rain on the roof and the hypnotic, rhythmic beat of the wheels on the track. Shh, shh. Clack, clack. Shh, shh. Clack, clack. It's a sound that seems to match the rhythm of a slow, deep breath. A sound that encourages you to let go. Leo looks around at his fellow travelers. They are not ghosts, but they seem to carry the weight of memory around them like a soft blanket. Near the front, an elderly woman sits with her hands folded in her lap. In them, she clutches a delicate, lace-edged handkerchief. It is perfectly clean, perfectly pressed, as if waiting to be given to someone. Her eyes are not sad, but filled with a deep, quiet longing for a conversation that can no longer be had. A few rows back, a little girl sits with her knees pulled up to her chest. She hugs a well-loved teddy bear, its fur worn thin and one of its button eyes missing. She stares at the bear with an infinite tenderness, her last solid link to a time when her world was whole, before it broke in two. Further down, a man in a dark raincoat sits with his face turned towards the window. A faint smile plays on his lips, but the reflection in the glass shows only his eyes, and they hold no laughter. It is a smile he wears for the world, a mask to hide the quiet disappearing of his own joy. Each person on this train is a silent story, a story of something that needs to be released, a regret, a loss, a dream that faded. And as Leo watches them, he feels a strange sense of kinship. He is not alone in his quiet heaviness. They are all here for the same reason: to sit with their burdens in the gentle, moving silence, and to allow the rhythm of the train and the rain to slowly, gently carry that weight away. The train moves on, journeying through a landscape of night and mist. Leo feels a gentle urge to walk, to explore this silent, moving sanctuary. He rises from his seat and walks softly down the aisle, the deep red carpet muffling his steps. he passes into the next carriage. The air here feels different, softer still. This feels like the carriage of unsent words. The old woman with the handkerchief belongs here. Leo can almost feel the presence of unspoken apologies, unheard declarations of love, and final goodbyes that were never said. He thinks of words he himself has left unspoken, and a gentle pang of recognition echoes in his heart. He moves into the next carriage. It is filled with a hazy, dreamlike quality. This is the carriage of faded memories. The little girl with the teddy bear sits here, lost in a world that exists only in her mind. The air is thick with the scent of summer grass, the sound of a forgotten lullaby, the feeling of a hand that no longer holds hers. It is a place for things that are slowly, gently losing their color, becoming soft and distant. In the next carriage, he finds the man in the raincoat, his hidden smile reflected in the dark window. This is the carriage of quiet goodbyes. Not the loud, dramatic kind, but the slow, silent drifting apart of people, of places, of versions of ourselves we used to be. It is a place of acceptance, of acknowledging that some things end not with a bang, but with a soft, quiet sigh. Finally, he enters a carriage where a young woman sits alone, a sketchbook open on her lap. She isn't drawing. She is just looking at the empty pages. This feels like the carriage of what might have been. It holds all the paths not taken, the chances not seized, the silent wishes for a different story. Leo walks through these quiet, moving rooms of memory and feeling. He doesn't feel sorrow. Instead, he feels a profound sense of peace. He sees that every heart carries these unspoken things. Every life has its own collection of unsent words, faded memories, and quiet goodbyes. And here, on this train, it is all okay. It is all allowed to simply be. Leo finds an empty seat in a quiet corner of the last carriage. He sits down, the worn velvet of the seat soft beneath him. He rests his head against the cool glass of the window and closes his eyes, letting the rhythm of the train seep into his bones. Shh. Clack, clack. Shh. Clack, clack. In the gentle rhythmic darkness, the weight in his own heart finally takes shape. It is a memory of his father, a memory not of sadness, but of quiet, unspoken distance. He remembers the last time he spoke to him, a hurried phone call about unimportant things. He remembers intending to write a long letter, a letter to say all the things a son wants to say to his father, to thank him, to tell him he understood, to say he loved him. But life got in the way, as it so often does, and the letter was never written. The words remained in his heart, unspoken, gathering weight over the years. Instinctively, Leo reaches into the pocket of his coat. His fingers close around a small rectangular object. He pulls it out. It's an old photograph, a faded picture of him and his father on a fishing trip years ago. They are both smiling, squinting in the bright sun. He looks at the photograph, and a single tear escapes his eye, tracing a path down his cheek. It mixes with the condensation on the window pane. Outside, the rain falls, and inside, his own quiet rain begins to fall. He doesn't push the feeling away. He doesn't fight it. He simply holds the photograph and allows himself to feel it all. The love, the regret, the longing. He holds the photo for a long time as the train rocks him gently. He isn't trying to forget. He is simply remembering. And in that quiet, honest moment of remembrance, something shifts. The sharp edges of the regret begin to soften. The weight in his chest doesn't vanish, but it becomes lighter, as if the train is helping him carry it. He doesn't need to send the letter anymore. He understands now. The love was always there. It was always understood. He carefully places the photograph back in his pocket. It feels different now. Not like a burden, but like a treasure. He takes a deep, slow breath, and for the first time in a very long time, he feels his heart grow quiet. He feels light. The rhythmic sound of the wheels begins to slow. The clack-clack becomes softer, more drawn out, until finally, with a gentle sigh, the train glides to a complete stop. There is no jolt, no announcement, just a profound, peaceful silence, broken only by the sound of the rain, which has now softened to a gentle, misty drizzle. Leo opens his eyes. He looks out the window, but there is no station. There is only a soft gray mist swirling gently outside the glass. The other passengers are gone. He is alone in the warm, quiet carriage. He feels a deep sense of peace, a calm that settles over him like a warm blanket. He closes his eyes again, just for a moment, and lets out a long, slow breath. When he opens them again, the train is gone. He is sitting on a wooden bench in a small, quiet park. The first light of dawn is beginning to break, painting the sky in soft shades of gray and pale rose. A fine, cleansing mist hangs in the air, making the leaves of the trees glisten and the air smell of damp earth and new beginnings. He looks around. He recognizes this park. It's just a few blocks from his apartment. He looks for the alley, for the phantom station. But there is only an ordinary alley, quiet in the morning light. Was it all a dream? He reaches into his coat pocket. The photograph of his father is there, safe and dry. And next to it, something else. Something that wasn't there before. It's a small cardboard ticket. An old-fashioned train ticket. The kind they don't make anymore. The ink is slightly faded, as if from a long journey. On it, in the same elegant script as the sign at the station, are a few simple words. You've arrived where you needed to be. Leo holds the ticket in his hand, the corners softened by its journey. He looks up at the clearing sky, feels the cool, clean air on his face, and a slow smile spreads across his lips. It is the first real smile he has felt in years. Not because something magical happened, but because something inside him has settled. The weight is gone. The rain has stopped. And in the quiet peace of the new morning, Leo knows he has finally learned how to let go. Now, as Leo finds his peace, perhaps you can find yours. Let the story drift away, like the misty morning. Let your thoughts soften, like the edges of the city in the rain. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be, except right here, resting. Allow the gentle rhythm of your own breath to be your train, carrying you softly, slowly, into a deep and peaceful sleep. You have arrived where you need to be. Good night. Sleep well.